Hello everyone, I hope you guys are all having a fabulous day. While the majority of my handbags are from luxury brands, I definitely don't turn my nose up at ones with friendlier price points because I love handbags to the full extent of the phrase. So today I wanted to share 5 different bags that are on my radar that are budget friendly in comparison to the luxury ones. We're talking awesome quality with an even better price point. So I hope that you guys enjoy this video. If you do, make sure and give it a thumbs up. And without further ado, let's get started, shall we? Starting with the first one, the Strathberry midi tote. I am so blaming this on you guys. I'm blaming this on you guys because I've had a lot of you ask me about this brand. I've had a lot of you ask me about this tote. And I'll be honest, I didn't really do my research on it. I didn't know too much about it. I always said that I appreciated some of their silhouettes, but I didn't think that they were necessarily for me. But the more I started to do research, the more I started to look into this bag, and the more I started to just see reviews and unboxings, the more I fell in love with it. I think it is absolutely beautiful. I feel that it offers so incredibly much for the price point that it has. It comes in at $675 here in the States. I really like this size. I know that there's a nano size and that one comes in at $420 if I'm not mistaken, but I like this one because it's a little bit bigger. But the details that I love on this bag, number one, is the fact that it's versatile. It comes with a removable, adjustable strap. I've said it before, that is such a game changer. You're not stuck with the whole one-size-fits-all type of situation, which ends up driving me up the wall sometimes. So I think that's great. It's a tote. I feel that it's very spacious. It has a generous opening. You can see everything at a glance. It has the microfiber lining, if I'm not mistaken, and there's an array of different colors to choose from. And let's be honest, I would end up going for that ruby red. That ruby red is insanely gorgeous. I feel that it's so vibrant, it's so vivid. I don't know, I feel that it ends up speaking to me. There is one detail on this bag that I think might be a deal breaker for some people. To me, it ends up adding a little bit more character to the bag. It ends up adding a little bit more uniqueness, and that's that metal bar that you have to feed the handle through. I really like that. I feel that it makes the bag stand out, but I also wonder if it would make it a little too fussy or anything like that. I don't think so, but still, you know, I like to think of everything when it comes to adding any bag to my collection. But I really like that metal bar, so it adds that uniqueness. I don't know, I just love the structure of this bag. It's structured, it's a tote, the colors, the versatility. I think it offers so incredibly much. So like I said, I am blaming you guys. I am 100% blaming you guys because I just can't seem to stop looking at this bag online, or like I said before, when I saw the unboxings, I just felt like I was unboxing the bag. You know what I mean? You know how you get when you see those unboxing videos, you're so excited about whatever it is that they're showing. That was me. I was like, oh my gosh, and I don't even have the bag. But I don't know, I think it is so incredibly beautiful, and I did start to look at more and more of their silhouettes, and I am a major fan. So shame on me for not doing as much research on these bags before, but this midi tote has definitely won my heart. Next up, the Linjer soft tote. Hopefully I'm saying it correctly. Hopefully I'm not butchering it, because you guys know that I do have a tendency to butcher names from time to time. But I absolutely love this bag, and it's been on my radar for quite some time, and I've done a ton of research on it. There are so many things that I appreciate about it. Number one, I love the simplicity that it has. I absolutely love the simplicity. You guys know that I often end up going for simple handbags because I feel that simplicity ends up speaking volumes. And in this case, the leather is doing all the talking, you know what I mean? So I do like that, especially if you want to use a tote in a workplace where you don't necessarily want to attract attention, you don't want people to know the type of bag that you're carrying or anything like that, then I think the fact that it doesn't have a logo on the exterior is a really great detail. I also like the structure that it has. I love the shape. You guys know I am definitely a tote girl. I have been for many years, and when I was doing research on this bag, a lot of people were raving about the fact that it doesn't turn into a beautiful mess. And what I mean by beautiful mess is the fact that you end up putting all your items inside, and when you go to set it down, it doesn't necessarily flop over or anything like that. It still ends up keeping its structure. Now, again, a lot of you know that I do end up going for structured handbags, especially when it comes to totes. To me, that's imperative when it comes to that type of silhouette. So the fact that it ends up keeping its shape for me is a major pro. It's fully lined. It fits up to a 13-inch MacBook, if I'm not mistaken. A lot of people had said that it's very comfortable. It's very spacious. It has a very generous opening where you can see everything at a glance. Now, when I was doing research on it, I found out that a lot of people, even though they raved about so many different details, they also felt that it didn't have the most security because it does have a magnetic closure. Now, for me, the magnetic closure is definitely not a deal breaker because for me, it makes it a little bit easier to get in and out of the bag. It's not as fussy, but I can definitely understand where they're coming from, because if you are in a crowded area and you want that peace of mind, the fact that it does have the magnetic closure makes it a little bit easier, makes it, you know, not necessarily easier, but it still doesn't give you that peace of mind as much as a zipper would or anything like that. So I thought I'd point that out as well. But when it comes to the price point of this bag, so it's an all leather tote, it's fully lined, it has, I mean, it's very simple, it's a very, very beautiful bag. It comes in at $359 here in the States, which I think is phenomenal, you know, and again, on a lot of the different articles that I saw, people have had this bag for like 2-3 years and it looks like the day that they got it. So I think that's a major plus as well. But I think it's gorgeous. It's available in 4 different colors, and I'm really, I mean, I think I'm just gonna go for it because I love totes, and again, the simplicity and all those pros that I just gave you guys really end up speaking to me and things that I look for when it comes to a handbag. But I think it is absolutely beautiful. Next up, the Mansur Gavriel Vegetable Tanned Circle Crossbody. Now, this is the most expensive out of the bunch that I'm sharing with you today, coming in at $695 here in the States, but I think it is so incredibly cute, so incredibly cute. Now, I know what you're gonna say. I know what you're gonna say because my hubby already beat you to it. It looks like a canteen. I know. It's one of those things that once you see it, it can't be unseen. So yes, I know that it looks like a canteen, and yes, I know it might be somewhat trendy, and yes, I know it might not stand the test of time, but I still think it is so incredibly cute. I don't know if it's necessarily the colors that it's available in. I really like the black. I also like the chestnut brown or the tan one. I think it's really, really cute. I know there's an array of different colors to choose from, but I really like those too. And I also like the fact that it's very versatile because it comes with a removable, adjustable strap. So that way you're not stuck with a whole one size fits all type of situation that I've talked about in other videos. So I think that's really, really great. But I think the thing that attracts me to this bag the most is the silhouette that it has, because to me, it reminds me of a bag from like the 20s, the 30s or 40s. I don't know, but I really, really like that. And while I probably would end up using it crossbody, I would take off those straps and use it just like a little, it looks kind of like a hat box, right? But I don't know, I think it's a very, very cute bag. Now, there are a few things that come to mind with it. The first one being that even though I know it does have the dual zippers, and the dual zippers are great, that way you don't necessarily have to go the entire length of the, bag to open it up. I do wonder if it would be too fussy. Like, I wonder if you have to set them at a certain level so that your items don't end up falling out. So that always comes into mind. Another thing is that when it comes to circle bags, I've seen this with other brands, not necessarily this brand or this silhouette. I've heard people say that when it comes to circle bags, they don't necessarily stay in place when you go to use them crossbody. They end up kind of flopping around, and then your items end up falling out if you don't close it up either. So that also makes me think. I know that this brand has been around for quite some time. There have been a lot of popular bags that have come from this fashion house, and while I always appreciated them, they weren't necessarily for me. But this one, it came up on my radar and I'm like, oh man, I think it's so, so cute. But I know what you're thinking. Like I said before, it looks like a canteen. It might be trendy. It might end up, not being as popular within 6 months or what have you. But I don't know. I can't deny it because I think it's very, very cute. Number 4, the Tory Burch Robinson Smooth Tote Bag. Now, I've never had a Tory Burch bag. I've always been intrigued by them, and I always appreciate what they bring to the table, especially when it comes to handbags. I know a lot of people rave about the quality of their leather. I've only had shoes and I've only had accessories from the fashion house, but still, I think that this bag is so incredibly awesome. I love the fact that it has so much organization. It should really be called the organization bag because it has so many different slip pockets. It has so many different zippers. I feel that this would be a phenomenal work tote because of that, and I feel that it might make it a little bit easier to organize your items inside. So I think that's probably the number one thing that I appreciate about this bag the most. I also like the fact that it is simple. It does have a logo. It's not too big and it's not too small either. It's a little bit more inconspicuous, but still it's not necessarily all over the bag. So I really do appreciate that. And I also like the fact that it does come with the flat straps, the flat shoulder straps. With flat shoulder straps, that's something that I often look for when it comes to a tote, just because I feel that it makes it a lot more comfortable and the bag ends up staying in place a lot more often than the rolled handles. With the rolled handles, I feel that those end up digging into my shoulder, and I also feel that they end up rolling off of my shoulders very, very easily. I've said it before, I don't have the best shoulders on, on the planet. So for me, that's a constant struggle. So the fact that it does have the flat straps, I feel that it might make it a lot more comfortable. It'll keep it in place. And I also think that it might end up distributing the weight a little bit easier than something with those rolled handles, or you won't necessarily end up feeling the weight as much, with this type of strap versus the other ones. Now, the only thing, I wish that this bag was a little bit wider, because with work totes, I want to be able to carry everything and the kitchen sink. But let's be honest, I like to carry everything and the kitchen sink when it comes to any handbag, but mostly when it comes to a work bag, I want to be able to carry my laptop, folders, or anything else that I might need with me without necessarily making the bag too bulky. So that's the one thing that I would definitely end up changing about it, is just I wish it was a little bit wider. But still, I really, really like this bag. It has a phenomenal price point, coming in at $348 here in the States. So I think that if you want to go for a simple tote, something that you can definitely use for work and you don't necessarily have to pay an arm and a leg, then I think that this would be an awesome option. And like I said before, I am a tote girl, so those to me are the ones that end up making my heart sing the loudest when it comes to any type of silhouette. It's always going to be a tote bag, but I do think that it's great. And like I said before, I am very, very much intrigued by the quality of Tory Burch. I know another popular tote is it called the Perry tote? Or the Perry handbag. I know a lot of people have used that for a work tote as well, and they've raved about it for many, many years. I don't know if it's discontinued. I could be wrong. If it is, let me know in the comment section down below. I don't want to give you guys false information, but this Robinson tote is definitely one to take a look at. And last but not least, the All Saints Kita leather backpack. If you guys have been watching my channel for a while, a lot of you know that I've talked about this bag many of times. I am like a moth to the flame when it comes to this bag. Every single solitary time that I am in All Saints, I immediately beeline it for it, and I think it is absolutely incredible. I love the fact that it's versatile, because you can use it as a hobo, or you can also use it as a backpack, as the name states. I think that when it comes to their leather, they have such incredible quality. The pebbles that they have are just insanely beautiful, and it also has an awesome price point, coming in at $398 here in the States. It also comes with a little pouch. I'm not sure if the pouch is removable. I can't remember to save my life, but still, it has a little pouch, so that way if you want to fit a few items in there, you can. It has multiple openings. I know it can be somewhat busy, and some people might think that it's a little bit fussy, but still, there's just something that just makes me fall in love with this bag. And I'm sure a lot of you guys are thinking about some of the details that I've talked about on other bags that I'm not too fond of, that this bag ends up having. Like I said before, it doesn't necessarily keep its structure. It's a little bit more slouchy. So that's something to take into consideration. And also the fact that it has a few different straps, so it might seem somewhat busy, or the fact that it might have a little too much going on. But even with those things that I just said, even with those things that I'm not too crazy about when it comes to handbags, there's just still something that always makes me fall in love with this bag. I don't know, I can't necessarily pinpoint it, but I had to incorporate it into this video because I am such a fan. And like I said, with their leather, it is just incredibly beautiful. I think it would be one of those that I would have to add, or I'd have to find some type of like a purse organizer so that I can keep its structure. But I am a major fan of this bag. I also wanted to incorporate an honorable mention. Yes, I know that I'm kind of cheating, and I know that I often do the whole honorable mention thing, but still, I feel that this bag and I feel that this brand really deserves some type of spotlight, and I'm talking about Coach. Now, I have mad love for Coach. I always will. It was one of the first brands that I fell head over heels in love with. I had this crazy collection, and I will always have a soft spot for this fashion house. But I feel that lately, they have really stepped up their game. I feel that they've really introduced some amazing some amazing quality and some really fabulous details to their lineup that I think are going to elevate their brand in general. You know what I mean? So I mean, I tip my hat off to Coach because they have, they were there from the beginning, and I feel that they're starting to go back to what they were before. And like I said, they've introduced so many different silhouettes and so many different details to their brand that I think it's going to be a major game changer for them. Now, the bag that I wanted to kind of highlight is the Coach Parker. I do go back and forth with this bag, but I think it is absolutely beautiful. It does have some similarities to the Chanel Classic Flap. For example, it has the leather woven in between the chain. It also has the turn lock closure and the C closure, and also the 4 grommets that make the bag. You're able to either use it on a single strap or a double strap, but I still think that this is an awesome bag because it has amazing leather. I also like the fact that it has a little bit more organization. You have a zippered closure, a zippered pocket on the interior. You have 2 different compartments. So I think that's really great. And it's also not too busy. I feel that it's not too in your face. It's a little bit more understated. And let's not forget the price point. This bag comes in at $350 here in the States. Now, while I said that the leather woven in between the chain is very similar to the other fashion house, I also think that with that, it ends up adding comfort to the bag. Because if you do end up having just a chain, sometimes it can end up digging into your shoulders. Sometimes it can end up being a little too uncomfortable. But if you end up adding that leather in between the chain, I feel that it ends up making it a lot more comfortable in the long run, or you can use it for an extended period of time. Now, out of all the colors that this bag is available in, I really like the white one. I really like the white with the gold hardware. I think it makes for a really nice combination. And I know some of you guys might be thinking I'm crazy for wanting to go for a white handbag, but I have always wanted a white handbag. However, I don't trust myself. I don't trust myself because I do wear a lot of dark colored clothing. I know that I would automatically end up getting a lot of color transfer, or something would end up happening to the bag. Like I would wear it for 5 minutes and then boom, all of a sudden I have like this denim, you know, type of transfer on the backside or what have you. But I think that if I did go for the Parker, I think that it would be a really great way for me to get my fix of wanting to get a white handbag and not necessarily have to worry about paying an arm and a leg when it came to a different fashion house or anything like that. You know what I mean? And who knows, it might end up being a lot more durable than I might imagine. It might end up outwearing any of my other bags in my collection. You know what I mean? You never know. So between the Coach Parker and the Furla Julia bag that I've talked about a million times, that one is another one that I want to go for in the white. But I just don't want to pay an arm and a leg, and I still want to get that awesome quality. So again, a major kudos and major love for Coach. Out of all the bags that I just shared with you, the one that I'm leaning towards the most is a Strathberry midi. There's just something about it. I don't know if it's the metal bar that adds the whole uniqueness that I was talking about earlier, or maybe it's the color that it's available in. I have no idea. But that's definitely my my number one when it comes to this wish list. But that does it for my 5 budget-friendly bags that are on my radar. I hope that you guys enjoyed it, and I hope I was able to give you a little bit more information on each of these, especially if you're also looking to add something like this to your collection. If you guys have any of these, let us know in the comment section down below if you recommend them, or if there's something to look out for. The more information that's out there, the better. Or if you also have another brand or another bag that you highly recommend, let us know that as well. But again, thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, make sure and give it a thumbs up. If you haven't already and you would like to, please subscribe to my YouTube channel by clicking on the red button down below and hitting that bell so you're notified when I upload videos, which is anywhere from 2 to 3 times a week, and I'll see you guys later. And as always, make it a fabulous day or not, the choice is yours. Have a great day.